Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the tensile. Alright, so we're gonna do this video in 4 points. So what's a tensile? Okay. What are the specs? The pros and cons, and should you get it? Like, when do you use a tensile? Well, basically, a tensile is a hammock that wants to be a tent. It's a wannabe tent hammock. It's a wannabe hammock that wants to be a tent. It's so many things, okay? But it's a suspended tent. Now, why would you want a suspended tent? What's the pros and cons of this kind of shelter? Well, number one, just like a hammock, you don't have to worry about what type of ground you have to deal with. It can be uneven, there can be obstacle. You don't care because you are lifted, you are suspended in the air. So the ground is never an issue, just like a hammock. That's a really good start. Another good thing, another pro in my opinion, is the fact that just like a hammock is really a one-person shelter, the tensile can have two people. The Tensile Connect, that model can have two people plus their luggage, and still a lot of space to enjoy yourself in it and not being cramped. That's really a big thing when you have to deal with like being stuck in a storm for a day or so, not being able to enjoy what's going on outside of your shelter because of the weather. It's a good thing that you have space. You're not gonna feel claustrophobic in there, that's for sure. It's a roof, guys. What else do you want from a shelter? You got a roof with your shelter. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I'm not kidding, guys. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. So I'm wondering, is that a pro or a con? You tell me, but that shelter is huge. Pretty big. Another big pro is that because it's lifted just like a hammock, you're never gonna get water in your shelter. Rain is not gonna come in with your shelter, and the rain fly of this thing is not storm proof. It's cataclysm proof. It's impressive, really, because you can wrap it under the floor. There's wind is not gonna come in, water is not gonna come in. This is really great, and you can use it during the winter. I've used the tensile during the winter. It is warm enough. Though just like a hammock, I would recommend that you still put a mattress, obviously, because there is a draft underneath you. You are lifted. There's a draft, so you want to protect yourself from that. But yeah, man, that thing, wow. Storm-proof, big time. 4-season shelter, absolutely. But it's not perfect, so let's go into cons. A con, you need 3 threes. Rightly placed. This is hard to find. Okay, there's way to go by it, but it's hard to find the proper place, the proper trees to make this shelter happen. So, but when you do, oh, what a great night of sleep you got. Well, there's many cons, but the main one, in my opinion, is the weight. That thing is a beast. It is not light. It is extremely heavy. Like, this is how much it weighs. Okay, I cannot remember that number because it's just too big. It's really heavy. So you're not gonna bring this when you go backpacking. That's for sure. Okay. Another con, guy, is that it's the setup time. That thing is super complicated to put up. I mean, it's usually a 2-man operation, even a 3-man operation. You can do it by yourself. Like I've done it by myself, but it is complicated. You need to find the right spot. You need to do a lot of micro adjustment to make sure it is proper position. So it's not as simple and as easy as throwing like a standalone tent or just a tarp setup or even your hammock. This is a little bit more complicated for sure. Let's go into spec, guys. The setup time is about 15 minutes. There are 2 poles that are 8.5 millimeters of diameter. Under the floor, you'll see a car seat belt, and it's there to create 2 different living areas so you're not stumbling on each other when you're in the tensile. Also, you'll see 4 ways to access the tensile. There is 4-door. The roof is made of tear-resistant insect meshing, and the floor fabric is made of 200D inclined joint nylon polyester. It is a 4-season tent. The Rainfly is made of 700 DPU quoted waterproof polyester, and it can handle a maximum weight of 880 pounds. So let's talk about, when do you use one of the most heavy, bulky shelter ever made by man? That might be a dramatization there. But really, there's 3 main times I believe it's a good call to bring your tensile. When you go winter camping and you have a sled, this will work beautifully. The weight is not going to be on your shoulders, so that's great. When you go canoe camping is the second time, but I will specify if there is no portage involved. Because there's so much space in your canoe, it's not going to be an issue. You're not going to be lifting the thing, you know what I mean? So there's no portage. Canoe camping for a base camp, wow, that's really cool. And the last option, the last time I would bring a tensile on my third option here, is when you go car camping, because it's in the car. You just take it out and you can flash and be the cool dude or dudette at the campsite there if you go car camping, obviously. So that's pretty cool. Alright gang, this is my review of the Tentsile. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me in the comment section if it's the kind of shelter you would like to try. Also, please subscribe, hit the bell notification, that way you don't miss my next video, and it helps the channel big time. Alright, see you on the next one.